What if I told you there's a single mistake you're making at LSAT reading comp that could destroy your chances of getting into law school? Today, we're diving into the deadliest mistakes students make in reading comp and, more importantly, how to fix it. For those who don't know me, my name is Steve Schwartz. I've been teaching the LSAT since 2005, and I personally increased my own LSAT score from a 152 to a 175. Now let's talk about why most reading comp strategies fail. When I see students struggling with reading comp, they're often pointing to confusing passages, tricky questions, or complex answer choices. But the thing is, the real problem is just your approach. Most strategies rely on shallow reading or speed reading, which leaves you missing the structure and the deeper meaning of the passage. Reading comp isn't about how quickly you can move your eyes across the screen. It's about how effectively you can navigate the passage and understand its structure. If you don't master this, every question's a guessing game. Now imagine if you could cut your passage reading time in half while improving your comprehension at the same time. It's not just possible, it's inevitable when you adopt the right approach. Today, I'll share a proven strategy called the structure first approach that has helped countless students at LSAT Unplugged transform their reading comp performance. Here's the actionable framework you can start using immediately with structure first. Step 1 is to zoom out. Before you dive into the details, scan the passage for the big picture. Ask yourself, what's the main topic? What's the author's tone? How is the passage laid out? Second, break the passage into layers. Think of each paragraph like a puzzle piece. What's the role? Is it serving as background? Is it presenting an argument, a counterpoint, or just the conclusion? Step 3 is find the author's purpose. The author's opinion is your North Star. It's where you want to focus. So look for words like should, unfortunately, or clearly. These reveal the author's stance and often hint at the main idea. Step 4 is to simplify rather than memorizing. Create just a quick mental roadmap of where the details are located rather than trying to keep it all in your head. It's more important to know where to find the details than to remember them all during your initial read. Now let's talk about how the structure first approach compares with the traditional approach. With the traditional approach, you're reading the passage line by line, you're taking notes, or you're highlighting excessively. You finish the passage only to realize that you still don't know what the author was trying to say. In contrast, with the structure first approach, you focus on the big picture, the passage's structure, and the author's opinion. By the time you finish reading, you'll know exactly where to find the supporting details, and you can actually predict many of the answers. I mean, which one sounds more effective to you? I'd go with the structure first approach every single time, but you can test this out, run an experiment, and see for yourself. Now, if you'd like my help adopting the structure first approach to your LSAT reading comp prep, my team and I would be glad to help you out. At LSAT Unplugged, we offer live online classes via Zoom, on-demand video courses, small group coaching, and one-on-one coaching. And the cool thing about the personalized approach is that we can focus primarily or even exclusively on LSAT reading comp. If you'd like to get my support and find out more, you could check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. We'd be glad to help you out. I also wanted to share with you some drills you can apply for mastery of LSAT reading comp aside from the structure first approach. Remember how I mentioned earlier that a lot of students are highlighting excessively? I like to take the opposite approach and try out extreme minimalism, where you read the passage without doing any underlying or highlighting to see just how much you can rely on your mental map. In my experience and that of my students, those who do the best on the LSAT mark very little or not at all. So this is a really great drill to try. Again, marking nothing. The second drill you could try is just jotting down a one-sentence summary for each paragraph, and that's all you write down as your notes, and you could use that as your map to navigate the questions. Finally, try doing only the global questions for the older passages that you're not using for full-length timed practice tests. For this drill, you simply read a passage, then answer the main idea question, the primary purpose question without looking back. This trains you to retain the structure and the big picture of the passage. Now, here are some common mistakes that you want to avoid when you adopt these approaches for reading comp. The first is to avoid getting overly obsessed with timing. Don't micromanage the time spent on each passage. You don't have to solve each passage in 8:45, meaning 8 minutes and 45 seconds per passage. You have 35 minutes to do all four. Some are easier than others that you'll solve more quickly, that you'll then build up a time bank to apply to the tougher passages perhaps later in the section. The second big mistake is over annotation. You don't have to mark every line. That's not going to help you comprehend anything. It just becomes clutter. Only highlight if it's directly supporting the main structure of the passage, the main idea, the author's opinion. Final big mistake is to skim for keywords. This might work in logical reasoning when you're looking to ID the evidence or the conclusion, but in reading comp, you always need context to understand the meaning this plays in the passage as a whole. As for next steps here, try adopting this structure first approach. Test it out. I think you'll find it not only improves your accuracy, but it also gives you the confidence to tackle any passage LSAC throws your way, regardless of the topic. And the thing is, the difference between a 160 and a 170 often comes down to how you handle reading comp. Those who say you you can't improve at it are clearly wrong. It just requires the right approach. So try out these drills, keep what works, throw out what doesn't. The LSAT rewards experimentation. And if you'd like my help on your journey to scoring 170 plus, mastering LSAT reading comp, you could check out the links below to book a call with me and my team. And in the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.